Number 9. Shuri. Shuri's Wakanda's resident genius. Sarcastic royalty, and quite possibly the only person on Earth who can both build a panther-shaped tank and transform into a majestic pigeon swarm. Born to Queen Ramonda and King Tachaka, she was raised with the grace of a princess and the stubbornness of a girl who once tried to sneak into a death match to become Black Panther. Unfortunately, she was beaten to the punch by her older brother T'Challa, probably the only time in history someone missed a fight because they were a few steps too slow. But Shuri doesn't stay sidelined for long. After being put into the living death, basically Wakanda's cryo sleep with a metaphysical twist, she spent her time in the TChalla, Wakanda's ancestral Wi-Fi network, downloading centuries of wisdom from her spiritual mentor, who looked suspiciously like her mom. She came back upgraded, smarter, wiser, and now capable of turning into birds. Now, with the power of ancient ancestors, elite tech skills, and the sass level of someone who knows they're the smartest person in the room, Shuri doesn't just fight with claws. She fights with strategy, holograms, and a whole army of ghost warriors. Also, her skin can turn into a rock. Also, she once built a jet out of spare earbuds and a broken Kilmonger bead. Basically, if Wakanda had a Pokemon, she'd be the final evolution. Long live the princess. Long live the upgrade. Overall, while brilliant and resourceful, Shuri is the least traditionally trained in combat. She relies heavily on tech and ranged attacks, and though she can hold her own, she's not at the same level as the other Panthers in raw hand-to-hand skill. Number 8. Sion. Sion wasn't supposed to be king. He was a classic cool uncle type. Smart, loyal, deadly in a fight, and always backing his brother Tachaka like a true ride or die. But when Ulysses Claw assassinated Tachaka, Sion stepped up. Not because he wanted the crown, but because Wakanda needed someone who could rule and throw hands. And make no mistake, Sion could throw serious hands. His strength and speed were on par with T'Chaka's, and he trained Tachaka himself. That's right, Sion was Sensei Panther, giving the future king the edge he'd eventually use to defeat him in ritual combat. But instead of holding a grudge, Sion bowed out like a champ and became T'Challa's most trusted advisor. He wasn't just brains and brawn, he had heart. He put his adopted nephew, Hunter, in charge of the Hatot Zaraze, ran the kingdom with grace, and when Dr. Doom's goons opened fire on Queen Ramonda, Sion didn't hesitate. He took the bullets himself, dying like the legend he was. In death, he joined the VIP section of the Afterlife, Wakanda's spiritual dream team, advising T'Challa from the TChalla and watching over the kingdom. He even got a whole chunk of the Intergalactic Empire named after him, the Sion Expanse. He might not have wanted the crown, but he ruled like he was born for it. All in all, Sion was wise and experienced, but he wasn't primarily a warrior. He was more of a caretaker Black Panther until T'Challa was ready. Competent, but not elite. Number 7, Mosi. Long before Wakanda had cities, borders, or Wi-Fi, there was Mosi, a prehistoric Panther tribe chief who looked cosmic danger in the face and said, "Not on my watch." He wasn't the first to munch on the heart-shaped herb, but he was the first to survive it, thanks to being handpicked by Bast and her jungle squad of spirit animals. Thus, Mosi became the original Black Panther, Wakanda's prototype superhero circa 1 million BC. And when a vibranium-laced meteor, Menanagi, started ripping holes in reality and summoning alien horrors like the Brood, Mosi suited up to keep Wakanda safe. No vibranium armor, no fancy tech, just claws, instincts, and a cosmic panther goddess in his corner. He punched aliens, fought monsters, and even impressed Odin, who said he'd never seen a mortal so capable. And Odin? He's seen a lot. Oh, and did we mention he lifted Mjolnir? Yeah, before Thor was even a glint in Odin's one-eyed stare, Mosi was already swinging the God Hammer like it was made for him. Mosi joined the Stone Age Avengers, saved the world a few times, and helped seal a rogue celestial underground like it was no big deal. Sadly, he fell in battle against the kids of Laufey and Hyvee, but his death triggered Wakanda's isolation, and left big vibranium shoes for Bashenga to fill. A warrior, leader, and low-key celestial slayer, Mosi was the primordial panther who walked with gods and made them take notes. Overall, Mosi was more about surviving the spiritual and literal apocalypse than mastering combat. Brave, but not polished. Number 6, Kashaba, aka Black Panther 2099. Kashaba is what happens when Wakanda's future king skips magical herbs and decides to get shredded the hard way. Peak human evolution? Check. Acrobat level agility? Yup. Expert in African martial arts like Ngolo, Morenji, and Dambe? Absolutely. Instead of sipping heart-shaped smoothies, Kashaba became the Black Panther by pure grind. Then, Doom happened. In 2099, Dr. Doom 2.0, long story, involves betrayal, fire, and lies. Takes over Wakanda in 6 weeks. 6! The council folds like lawn chairs, but Kashaba throws hands with Doombots, drops political mic moments, and escapes with his pregnant wife, Mtola. Enter the Resistance. Hiding in tunnels with rocket launchers, machetes, and sheer spite, they rally around Kashaba, who proves he's more than just muscle. He's got the leadership chops too. Week 3, he's their new leader. Week 4, leads an assault. Week 5 attacks again because Doom doesn't expect back-to-back smoke. And then, the moment. Kashaba dons the Black Panther mask. Not gifted by tradition, not inherited by blood, earned through grit and war. One look at him on a rooftop sparks a nationwide revolt. Wakanda's free again, but Doom, he's not done. Turns out he's brain-hacked Kashaba on the way out. Wakanda won, sure, but the new king's eyes are empty. Doom still whispers in his mind, so yeah. Kashaba, martial arts beast, Gym Rat Panther, freedom fighter turned puppet king. He didn't have the Black Panther powers, but still stood tall, which says a lot about his skill, but still not at the top tier. Number 5, Tachaka. Before Wakanda had a diplomat king, it had a warrior king, Tachaka, son of Azuri, heir to the Panther legacy, and a man who could track you by scent, outfight you with a blade, and outthink you before breakfast. A child of both tradition and innovation, Tachaka rocked ancient Wakandan armor by day and cruised around on a motorcycle by night. He preserved magic, pushed technology, and punched fascists. A complete package. As a prince, he trained under the fiercest warriors in Wakanda. As king, he faced Nazi super freaks like Armless Tiger Man and Warrior Woman and still made it home to change a diaper. The guy was fighting Baron Strucker with one hand and shielding his brother Sayan with the other. Tachaka was a master of everything. Swords, spears, martial arts, diplomacy, and fatherhood. He adopted a white child in a nation known for secrecy. He wielded vibranium tech designed by his pregnant wife while fending off Hydra. And when Ulysses' claw invaded, Tachaka didn't flinch. He stood firm, took a sonic blast to protect young TChalla, and paid the ultimate price like a true king. Even in death, Tachaka left scars on his enemies and a legacy in his son. He didn't just protect Wakanda, he defined him. A respected warrior and king, Tachaka held his own in battle and laid the foundation for his son's greatness. Traditional, honorable, and well-trained. Number 4, T'Challa, aka Azuri. Before T'Challa was Tachaka, there was Azuri the Black Panther, a vibranium-slinging king who stared down Nazis and basically said, "Not in my jungle." As Wakanda's ruler during World War II, Azuri didn't do diplomacy, he did decapitations. If you wandered into Wakanda uninvited, chances were your head ended up on a spike. Subtle? No. Effective? Absolutely. When Nazi Colonel Fritz Cloud crash-landed in Wakanda, Azuri nursed him back to health because Wakandans have manners, only for Cloud to repay him by trying to pull a call in a speedrun and demanding worship of a fake idol. Bad move. Cloud killed Azuri's queen, so Azuri did what any vengeful king would do, tore off his steel hand and sent him limping to Germany. Then came Captain America. When Steve Rogers showed up, Azuri treated him the same way he treated everyone, with suspicion and spears. But after a good old-fashioned we punch each other, now we're bros bonding session, Azuri teamed up with Cap, Nick Fury, and the Howling Commandos to defend Wakanda from Red Skull and his Nazi cosplay squad. We're talking super Nazis, like Master Man, Warrior Woman, and Armless Tiger Man. Azuri held the line like a boss, impaling soldiers midair and tossing one-liners like Wakandan war poetry. He was fierce, unyielding, and loved Wakanda more than life itself. Captain America called him a symbol. Wakandans called him a shield. Nazis called him a nightmare in vibranium. Balancing intellect and combat, Azuri stands out among old-school warriors. Number 3, Eric Kilmonger, aka Njadaka. If T'Challa was the noble king of Wakanda, Kilmonger is the rival you pray who doesn't show up to the family reunion. Raised in exile and trained in rage, Eric Kilmonger didn't just want the throne, he earned his shot at it the old-fashioned way, by throwing hands. And when he did, Kilmonger is one of the few people to legitimately beat T'Challa in ritual combat. No tricks, no vibranium cheat codes, just raw skill and strategy. His mastery of martial arts rivals the best in Wakandan history, and that was before he juiced up with the heart-shaped herb, which nearly kills him, by the way. Turns out royal blood is more than just a title. Beyond fists and footwork, Kilmonger is a tactical genius who fuses MIT-level intellect with battlefield brutality. He builds weapons that can scramble your nervous system, commands armies like a warlord with a PhD, and once brought an entire nation to its knees using economics. Oh, and let's not forget, he fought Deadpool, stared down Monica Rambeau, and survived US military betrayal. Maybe if he had given the US oil, they wouldn't have done that. While T'Challa is elegance and tradition, Killmonger's ferocity and revolution. He's not just a fighter. He's a conqueror with a grudge, and the hands to back it up. Long story short, if Erica says he's taken the throne, you better hope he's not in the way. Based on pure combat skill, Killmonger absolutely deserves a high spot, but not the very top. He beat T'Challa in fair combat, which few can claim, and he has extensive training, battlefield experience, and sheer ferocity. But he lacks the refined technique and spiritual discipline, and decades of Panther training that some of the other kings had from youth. Number 2, Bashenga. Bashenga is what happens when a Bronze Age warrior shaman sees a cosmic energy bomb hurtling towards Earth and says, "I got this." Instead of panicking like a normal person, he grabs his kid, smelts some vibranium, and forges 2 weapons, a sword called Skybreaker and the legendary Spear of Bashenga. He then climbs a sacred mountain like a boss and absorbs pure space magic with them. No shield, no Hamlet, just vibes. Once the explosion landed, he yeets the weapons into the western wilds and boom! Birin Bashenga is born. The tribes, understandably impressed by the man who tanked an entire energy meteor, unite under him. Thus, Bashenga becomes Wakanda's first official king and the second Black Panther after Mosi, because Marvel can't help but retcon royalty like it's a soap opera. Blessed by Bast, Bashenga didn't just become a ruler, he became Wakanda's blueprint. He founded the Black Panther cult, safeguarded the Vibranium Mound, and established the nation's royal line. His spear became the royal scepter, his name the stuff of legend, and his spirit now chills in Dajjaliya, Wakanda's ancestral dream server, occasionally offering T'Challa cryptic advice and dad energy. Combat-wise, Bashenga was a shaman-warrior hybrid who fought with divine metal, cosmic foresight, and a Black Panther's ferocity. Imagine Moses, Conan, and a meteorologist in one vibranium-laced package. So yeah, Bashenga didn't just build Wakanda, he was Wakanda. The father, the founder, the guy who stared down space radiation and said, "Let's make a kingdom." A mythical level warrior. Number 1, T'Challa. T'Challa isn't just Wakanda's king. He's what happens when you combine Batman's prep time, Captain America's athleticism, and a dash of ancient cat god magic. Born to King Tachaka, he was raised with one hand on a textbook and the other in a sparring ring. Royal bloodline or not, he earned the mantle of Black Panther by beating the crap out of Wakanda's finest in ritual combat, and then took a magic herb that turned him into a near superhuman jungle ninja with doctorate-level physics knowledge. Forget gadgets, T'Challa's entire body's a weapon. His strength? He's suplexed a rhinoceros. Speed? He'll punch you before your neurons finish firing. Reflexes? He dodges point-blank bullets and looks bored doing it. Agility? Think Olympic gymnast, but with claws and a vibranium suit that absorbs kinetic energy like your Wi-Fi absorbs your free time. He's a master of every martial art you've ever heard of, and plenty you haven't. He's clashed evenly with Captain America, embarrassed Wolverine twice, and dropped Karnak with one hit. Plus, his super senses, he can smell lies, hear whispers across a battlefield, and see in total darkness. This man's basically a stealthy, hyper-intelligent jungle god, and don't let the claws fool you. T'Challa's brain is just as dangerous. He has a PhD from Oxford and invented shadow physics. He's been a king, a warrior, a scientist, and occasionally the guy who tells Tony Stark to sit down and shut up. Overall, no contest, T'Challa is the total package. Master of every martial art, trained by the best, enhanced by the Panther powers, and strategically brilliant. He's beaten gods, superhumans, and legends alike. He's the apex. And that's a wrap! From kings who mastered every martial art on Earth to warriors who make gods flinch, the legacy of Black Panthers built on combat, strategy, and pure dominance. Did your favorite Black Panther claw their way to the top, or did we underrate your pick? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell for more ranked battles, character breakdowns, and deep dives into Marvel's finest legends. Until next time, Wakanda forever.